Good afternoon. I'm Josh Breiter. You've been watching a CBS special report showing images of a potential subject in the Nancy Guthrie case. We'll have more on this story later on News 3 Now and on channel3000.com. Now to some local news here back in southern Wisconsin. We have new developments for a proposed data center in Janesville. Voters will now see a referendum on their November ballots. The city council deciding to put a new development ordinance to a public vote. The move follows more than 4,000 signatures delivered to the city clerk. The measure requires any development over $450 million at the former GM site to go to referendum. The city manager says the ordinance is likely illegal and unenforceable.
Yeah, in particular, the constitutionality concerns are a major flaw to the ordinance as it was written.
City manager also warning that regardless of the city
limited,
council's actions, legal challenges to the ordinance are highly likely. A former Mount Horeb coach is now in police custody this afternoon. Police say David Chancellor, who was last fired last week, was arrested Monday morning. He's accused of stalking and fourth-degree sexual assault. Authorities believe inappropriate communication and acts occurred between Chancellor and a former athlete. Police say the Mount Horeb School District is fully cooperating with the investigation. Let's get a first check of your first warn forecast now. Here's meteorologist Jacob Montesano. Hi, Jacob.
Hey, Josh, temperatures continuing to get better as we look at the current conditions, easily in the upper 30s, and we even have some 40s out there. 40 degrees right now in Verona, 38 in Madison. Looking across the region, the entire area, at least in the middle to upper 30s, if not into the lower 40s. So these are some of the warmest temperatures we've seen in about a month, and the temperatures we're seeing today, for the most part, they're going to stick around. Now, we are seeing a little bit of some breezy conditions today. Right now, wind speeds between 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusts up near 25 to 30 miles per hour, and that is expected to continue for much of the day. Once we get to the overnight hours, still a bit breezy, but getting better by Wednesday morning, and then throughout the day on Wednesday, it will continue to get better, and by Thursday, not really even a factor. And the winds are really the only thing that's worthy about really highlight today, because beyond that, the temperatures are very comfortable, and we're certainly not going to see any precipitation, as we'll continue to see partly sunny skies with temperatures consistently near 40 degrees throughout the afternoon. And overnight lows not going to drop too far down. We'll have lows in the middle 20s. A little cold, obviously, but it certainly can be colder. And then tomorrow, although temperatures will drop a tiny bit, we'll see plenty of sunshine, but there is some chances of some snow later in the week. I'll talk more in detail about that, but for the most part, we're not going to see anything big, but I will take you through the forecast on that coming up a bit later.
All right, Jacob, we'll see you then. Thank you. Coming up next on News 3 Now noon, how PetSmart is spreading the love to our four-legged Valentines, plus why Air Canada says it's suspending flights to Cuba.
Air Canada says it's suspending flights to Cuba. It comes as Cuban aviation officials said airlines can't refuel planes on the island due to a fuel shortage. Officials there point to actions taken by the Trump administration to cut off fuel supplies from Venezuela and Mexico, and President Trump's executive order threatening to tariff goods from any country supplying oil to Cuba. Air Canada says it will send empty flights to bring home thousands of customers who are currently in Cuba over the next few days. Eddie Bauer says dwindling sales, supply chain issues, and trade uncertainty factored into its decision to file for bankruptcy. It's the third time the outdoor apparel maker has filed for Chapter 11 protection in its 106-year history. The filing affects Eddie Bauer's U.S. and Canada retail locations. The company's online and e-commerce operations are separate. And PetSmart is spreading the love to four-legged Valentines. This February 14th, pet parents and their furry friends can stop into stores from noon until 2 p.m. for free treats, photos, and paw print cards for a positively perfect Valentine's Day. Pet lovers who stop by can also receive an in-store $5 coupon. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to CBSMoneyWatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Carissa Lawson.
Here's your stock report at the noon hour. The Dow is up 212 points, Nasdaq up 15, and the S&P 500 up this hour 11.5. Our Call for Action volunteers are in the building taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. Call for action at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call-for-action. Pam has today's farm numbers up next, and Jacob is tracking the first warn forecast. Then later on Live at 4, how the Cambridge community is gearing up to dip for dozer in the 608. Welcome back this afternoon. Let's check in now with Pam Yankee for the Midwest Farm Report on a Tuesday. Hi, Pam.
Hey, Josh. Today we're focused in on the first woman ever elected president of the Wisconsin Potato and Vegetable Growers Association. Happened last week as the industry came together in Stevens Point for their annual trade show and convention. Congratulations to Wendy Dykstra, this young lady. She represents the Alsam Farms Incorporated bunch up in Friesland, and she is indeed the first woman elected ever as president of the Wisconsin Potato and Vegetable Growers Association, although there are plenty of females that are powerhouses in that industry. She will take over the responsibilities for the 2026 calendar year. Congratulations, Wendy. You know, we talk a lot about marketing in Wisconsin agriculture, and I just want to remind our farmers not to look past the strong ethnic communities that we've got in Wisconsin. I learned a little bit more about it from Abdullah Hussaini, who is the Junior Vice President of Marketing and a commodity broker for the Equity Cooperative Livestock Association. He was telling me last week how very vibrant right now Wisconsin's sheep and lamb market is, specifically the lamb market. Why? Because we're going into what they call high holidays. Now, if you're a Christian, you know that Easter's coming up. Jewish celebrate the Passover. But let's not forget about the Muslim community that has Eid that's on the way. All of these high holidays basically stretch from about the middle of February right on into April and provide a premium market for our Wisconsin-grown lambs. Right now, Abdullah tells me that we are seeing some very, very low numbers as far as overall production. Only raised about 80,000 head as of last year, but we've seen consumption of lamb across the United States climb, a lot of that influenced by the ethnicities in our community. So if you're looking for a way to kind of segment yourself out, do not look past the demand for halal or kosher lamb as a marketing opportunity. Learn a little bit more about the cultures and those religious celebrations that they've got coming up. You might find yourself in a very good position when it comes to marketing. Our dairy markets, well, not such a great position, as you can see by the arrows. Barrel cheese unchanged today. 40-pound block cheese down 1/4 cent, 144 1/4. Double A butter up a penny today at 163 1/2. I'm going to go get a better dairy attitude on. I'm going down to see Steve Stetler, master cheesemaker at Decatur Dairy in Broadhead. Tell you all about it tomorrow morning when I see you, Josh.
Oh my gosh. Tell Steve hello for me. I can't wait to hear about it, Pam. Have a good afternoon. Time now for your certified most accurate forecast with first warn meteorologist Jacob Montesano. Hi, Jacob.
Hey, Josh, here's a look at the 3 things you need to know. We're going to continue to see highs in the 30s and 40s this week with a small chance of some snowfall Thursday. And then as we get towards next week, we're going to be talking about temperatures even warmer than what they are right now or what they'll be for the next couple of days. Now, let's take a look at that chance of snow. This is starting tomorrow morning. Now, tomorrow we're going to see plenty of sunshine. That snowfall is not going to move in until the earliest late Wednesday night, but probably not until we get past sunrise on Thursday. And looking off to the west, you can see a little bit of some freezing rain and snow mix out in Iowa. And then as it pushes through our area, it looks as though it will mostly be snow, but some rain could definitely mix in. Now, the best chance of this will be for areas to the west and southwest of Madison, but Dane County and surrounding areas could still see a little bit of snow. Just the chance of accumulation is very low for Dane County, and even those areas in far southwest Wisconsin only going to see about a ½ inch at most, maybe a full inch for some very isolated locations. Now, that's going to mostly be during the late morning and afternoon. By the time we get to Thursday night, most of it will be gone. Still might see some lingering flurries for some areas, but for the most part, will be pretty dry for the rest of the week after that. And looking overall at the precipitation chances, you see that little bit of an increase for Thursday and Thursday night, maybe a little bit Saturday night into Sunday, but beyond that, we're looking very dry over the next 7 days, but we're going to continue to be very mild. So looking at the forecast for the rest of today, upper 30s to lower 40s with plenty of sunshine. Looking at tomorrow, a little bit cooler, but still mild, only cooler by a few degrees with middle to upper 30s again. It actually will be a little bit less breezy tomorrow, so temperatures may feel about the same today compared to tomorrow. And then as we take a look at the next 10 days, Take a look at this stretch of weather starting Friday and continuing through the middle of next week. We could be talking about a couple of days getting close to 50, and several days in a row look to easily get into the 40s. And we're not really going to see much precipitation during that time either. Now, once we get towards the end of the 10-day forecast, there is a little bit of a better chance of rain, and it looks like it'll mostly be in the form of rain, but definitely could still see a little bit of snow mix in based on those overnight lows. But that stretch of weather where we're going to easily be in the 40s, maybe lower 50s, it's going to produce very, very little rainfall. So it's continuing to look like a very nice 10-day forecast for February Wisconsin standards. Again, we have that small chance of snow Thursday, but most of the area probably won't see any. And even those that do see some snow won't see too much of it. So pretty quiet conditions for now. Again, towards the middle of next week, when we do see the chances of rain increase, we may start to see a little bit more active weather, but a lot can change between now and then. Let's just get through these next 7 days and enjoy it while it's here.
Yeah, my car's going to stay clean for a little bit too. So
Yeah,
I like
right.
that. Thank you, Jacob. Well, right now you can nominate your favorite restaurants, bars, businesses, and other services. Nominations are open for Madison Magazine's Best of Madison. You could also celebrate the city's top businesses at the annual luncheon on February 27th at the Concourse Hotel. Find all details and tickets on the channel3000.com or mobile app. Just click on that Madison Magazine tab. Up next at noon, Angie Edge from Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin returns. She'll show us how to make that perfect sweet treat for Valentine's Day using Wisconsin cheese. Welcome back this afternoon. Angie Edge from Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin is here with us, and we're looking ahead to Valentine's Day, and you've got a tasty recipe that is really showing some love today.
Yeah, so you know February is a month of love, and who doesn't love Wisconsin cheese, especially when it's baked into a decadent dessert for everyone to love.
Yeah, you have me
Yes.
and thinking that cheese is involved with this. This
it's
is awesome.
kind of like a cheesecake brownie. There's several layers to it. So the bottom layer is actually a store-bought brownie, fudge brownie mix that you can make in the oven. We added some extra dark chocolate to it to make it even more delicious. And then there's actually a cheesecake topping on top that has Wisconsin cream cheese, Wisconsin cherry cheddar cheese, cherries, and a little bit of sugar. You're going to dollop that on top of your brownies and then swirl it around so you get these wonderful cheesecake brownies, and then just bake it according to the package. You can top it with some real whipped cream, some of the shaved cherry cheddar cheese. There's some cherry compote you can put on top. Door County is known for their cheese and their cherries, so it's a fun little dessert. And then those chocolate swirls also. So really fun to make for the upcoming Valentine holiday.
It looks good. I'm betting that it tastes even better than that, too.
Yes, very decadent. This is the cheese we're featuring. It's the Renard's Cherry Cheddar Cheese. It became super popular over Christmas with the Cherry Pie Christmas movie that you may have watched.
Yes, it was fantastic.
So everyone went to Door County. They bought the cheese. It's a wonderful place to visit if you're looking for a lovely getaway. There's a bistro, a cheese shop, but the Renard's Cheddar is owned by a family, Chris Renard. He's a Wisconsin master cheesemaker, both in cheddar cheese and mozzarella, and he's known for all of the varieties that he makes. He makes over 40 different types of cheddar cheese, along with 100 varieties of other cheese. He's a master cheesemaker that's just won so many awards and such a great destination as well.
Well, and it's awesome. I think of like how romantic Door County is,
yes.
but we're kind of sharing the love across Wisconsin.
Yes, you can buy this locally, you can find it online, but Wisconsin makes so many types of cheeses, 600 different cheeses. They also source their milk all from local family farms. It's made by a family cheesemaker, and it's just a great tradition in Wisconsin.
All the first full
Yes.
circle stuff.
Yes.
All right, where can people find this recipe?
They can find it at wisconsincheese.com. It's the Black Forest brownie that you can find there. You can find different pairings, different suggestions. You can learn more about our cheesemakers and everything Wisconsin cheese.
Awesome.
Of course, we always remind you to look for that Proudly Wisconsin badge as well.
Helping us
Yes.
out. All right, Angie Edge, Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin. Thanks for
Thank you.
sharing some love
Yes.
and some cheese with us. We
Happy
appreciate
Valentine's
it.
Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Here's Jacob with the final check of your forecast.
Thanks, Josh. We're going to continue to see mild temperatures. In fact, they're actually going to get warmer once we get towards the weekend and next week. And at least for the next 7 days, we're not going to see a lot of precipitation. There is that chance of snow Thursday, mainly for areas to the west and southwest of Madison. Beyond that, we are looking very dry through the weekend and into next week. We might see a little bit more precipitation towards the end of the 10-day forecast, but a lot could change between now and then. We can definitely enjoy the next 7 days. Valentine's Day especially looks very nice with plenty of sunshine. And although we may see a little bit more cloud cover for the early portion of next week, we're not expecting a ton of precipitation. And at that point in time, it likely will only be rainfall, as we could see some areas getting into the lower 50s at times.
All right. Thank you, Jacob. Thanks for watching News 3 Now at noon. Coming up next is The Bold and the Beautiful. Our next newscast is live at 4. And a reminder, you can find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+. Make it a great afternoon.